And how's it going, fuckers? Welcome back to the Rock the Boat podcast with your host, Ross. Today I'm with a special guest, my friend Jim. This is a very quick, impromptu podcast, so we don't really know what we're going to be talking about today. We're probably just going to be talking about things that are in the news and whatever we find and pull up on the internet. But before we get into that, I'd like to list off some of our sponsors here at the Rock the Boat podcast. We are sponsored by Home Depot. For any of your needs regarding your home, go ahead and use coupon code ROSS for a chance to get 10% off your entire order. We are also sponsored by Keurig K-Cups, coffee, 1 cup at a time. You know, I used to drink coffee back in the day, and I just hated having to make a whole pot just for myself because, you know what, I hate coffee. I didn't even want to drink 1 cup. But now when I make coffee, I'm only wasting 1 single cup at a time. So K-Cup, go ahead and use coupon code BOAT to see if you can win like an extra cup or something. I don't know. They don't really like me right now. But yeah, go ahead. Give it up for my guest, Jim.
Pitch my cup in your mind, sat by the fire, behind your eyes, and I look through them just once.
How you doing, Jim?
Very good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
How's your
We're
day?
Here on the 10th of January,
Oh, the
2018.
10th. Wow.
10 days into the new year. How's the new year looking to you, dude?
It's
How's
a little
it
bit
feeling?
scary that the years keep,
They're
going
just
by.
going.
You can't really stop them, but it's exciting. Though how 2016 and 2017 went, it's all up in the air. We could be
Yeah.
fucking
Oh
a
my
nuclear
God.
wasteland by
It is, dude.
2019.
We're just surrounded by scum. Just like the most successful people are just all scum. You see James Franco now?
What did
He's
he do?
apparently getting allegations. He's denying them, but it's like a 17-year-old is one of them, and some other chick. This was like today or yesterday.
Really?
Yes,
Because I remember-
no one's safe.
Because I remember hearing about a story a couple of years ago about James Franco apparently texting an underage girl, and I think the whole story was he didn't know that she was underage, and nothing happened. He just texted her.
Yeah. How much is that is news?
Exactly. Well,
I mean, if you're looking at these guys, and let's be real here, a lot of these females are sliding in these people's DMs because it's that easy to do that now.
exactly.
You know,
How many of these are actually like, should we pay attention to? Like the Harvey Weinstein stuff.
That's a
That's
real
pretty
deal.
obvious. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or the Roy Moore or stuff like that. But when you're getting into people that are like Ben Affleck touched a boob in the '90s, it's like, okay,
we're reaching here.
And also, think about how all other laws work. With murder,
Yep.
there's degrees of murder, and then they go into manslaughter. Everything's not prosecuted the same because every time
Okay,
a
but
person.
then you got to look at it from the other side of it. I
of
like
course.
what you're saying, but I'll look at it from the other side is then how who is there to judge how traumatizing or how ridiculous is sexual? Now there's sexual assault and there's sexual misconduct, so there is kind of a little bit.
Yeah,
of
and there's
a
sexual harassment and all that.
Yeah, there's a little bit of differing degrees, as you said, but it's who's really there to judge what crosses what line, especially because it's normally between two people, the victim and the perpetrator. So who's going to be there to really say what happens? But
Yeah.
before we make this whole podcast about just
sexual harassment, like
assault,
everything
because-
else is doing.
yeah, because it was 2017, and that's all we needed to talk about. We were talking
fuck.
right before we came on the air about these wolf attacks during the first, and apparently we looked it up, and the Second World War.
Oh, yeah,
Just
fucking insane.
wolves are just, I'm going to say they're animals, they literally are, but they're
Yeah.
they're
savage.
savages. It's I mean, I guess when it's that cold and there's so many of them, because they're not solo hunters, they got to
Yeah.
feed a pack. So they're killing a lot of things to feed.
And also think about if you're in World War I or World War II on the Eastern Front, there's just bodies everywhere.
Yeah.
Free food for all these. It's the same problem that on the East or on the Western Front there was a huge rat problem. because there will be all these bodies lying around.
Oh, I bet.
And all these like just like stationary positions, so the rats would get like horrible in the trenches.
Oh, I bet.
It's horrible. That documentary last night by who was it again?
Morgan Spurlock, the
Morgan
guy that
Spurlock.
ate cheeseburgers for like a whole month for Super Size Me. He produced, but I also think he directed a great documentary on Netflix called Rats. Literally about what its name. It's based off a book of the same name. Just about the rat infestation of not just New York but the world. It kind of was really cool. I didn't expect that in it. It showed a lot of different points of view of how they're dealing with these infestations at such a large scale. India's was the funniest.
No,
It was
I
just
thought
like a
Britain
group of
was
like
the
10
funniest.
guys just in flip flops, and they had sticks. And they were just beating the shit out of these rats. And one guy's like, I like to kill rats. And he would just stretch them. And you just hear the spine pop. He was just like smiling, like fucking psychopath level.
Yeah, it's
But
like
he's doing
I
good.
I guess so.
that's
It's like
such a good
where
thing.
you put the psychopath. I still think that the Britain one was the best with the
Yeah.
terriers.
They had like a group of like what 20
Oh yeah,
fat
and,
white terriers.
and it was like they were going out like hunting foxes or something like that. They were like, "Oh, jolly good, Oliver, you did great." Like,
yeah.
like,
Ethel, quit it.
yeah, it's like, "Oh, just put down the rat. Come on,
Yeah, they
stop
were trying to
biting
get the
its
rat
head
out
off."
and just ripping apart these rats.
Yeah, it was
Oh
it
my
was really
God.
brutal. Like,
Like-
if you look at it, like if you play some sad music over that shit and like try to like sympathize with the rat, you're just gonna be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like try watching that after you watch Ratatouille. Like, oh fuck. Oh, speaking of Ratatouille, have you
ever
actually?
had it?
Huh?
Have you ever had Ratatouille?
I've never had Ratatouille.
Neither have I. I don't really know. It doesn't really look that good to me. Like, have you ever actually seen it?
Yeah, it's like a medley of vegetables, right? Like it.
I don't even know how they're. Not,
The one in the movie looked pretty good. I would tear that up, but like, yeah, it's like those all look like the movie though. Looks like they're trying to like.
yeah, these are like the movie. With
Yeah.
the layered, thinly sliced. Vegetables.
Yeah, but the first picture right there, that's.
This is probably what it actually.
Oh yeah,
supposed
this
to
is
look
Martha
like.
Stewart's. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful! You can make all that in a prison cell.
I mean, we got some spices that I took off a person that I shanked.
Smuggled them right in my cooch.
Oh yeah, the fucking South Park episode. Oh man, that you
I
heard.
haven't caught up on South Park. I watched. I think the last episode I watched this season was either the Witches and Crack episode.
Oh, that's a
or
great episode.
I think there was one or two after that I watched. I don't
See,
remember what they were.
I was me and my roommate had kind of a tradition this semester of like every Thursday night we would get like drunk or high and watch just a random episode of South Park. It's pretty nice, but he's gone in Italy now, so
Have you talked to him since he's been in Italy?
I talked to him once, like right when he went there. It's kind of weird with my roommates. I kind of do this generally with
Yep.
people, like when I'm not around them, direct contact for a
just
lot.
don't
I don't usually reach
So
out.
you're not a good texter.
Oh, I'm a horrible text. My uncle texted me today.
And
He
did
like
you text- did you
stream
text him
texted me. I kind of texted him back, but then he kept texting me and I didn't reply to those.
You just gave up.
It was just cryptic. I was just like, I don't know what's going on. I'm pretty sure he was high. Like
It's possible.
well, like he keeps making like kind of subtle weed jokes to me a lot. So and like I'm pretty sure one time he actually said I have a joint in this little pill container. So I'm like, okay, just all right.
You don't want to smoke with your uncle.
I would smoke with my uncle, like hands down. I think it would be a weird experience, but like it's definitely one that I would, it would be a fun one to do.
Yeah, I can't even think of a uncle or anybody I'd smoke with in either side of my family.
Really?
Like, if I had to pick an uncle, I'd pick. Well, there's a couple uncles I would pick, but I don't think that one was a police officer for
Okay, yeah.
30 years. Like he retired a police officer from HISD. He's not. I'm assuming he's not smoking. He's the funniest uncle I've ever had, ever do have. He's just great. And then I have an uncle on my mom's side that probably doesn't smoke now, but I know he was a wild child back in the day. He gave my grandma hell.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest problem is that like I bet like at one time I think every single person in my family has smoked weed.
Probably.
And like a couple of them have smoked regularly. But the thing is now they all have jobs, they're all working, you know.
We have kids.
We have kids, we have responsibilities. You know, it's all that bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't even know what I'd do if I smoked with a relative. Like,
I've
kind of wanted to smoke with my grandma out of anybody, and I just feel like, you know, she's changed her life a lot in the last 6 months. Mm-hmm. She's lived in this place with my grandfather for 30 years. Mm-hmm. She moved this year. She moved here. She's no longer living in Oklahoma. She's given up a lot of her things to move here. And I feel like, I don't know, she's very open-minded, so I don't know. I don't even know how to approach it.
Yeah,
I don't even know like how to approach that. But I think that'd be very, very fun. I think I would connect with my grandma a lot on that level.
Yeah, but like it's one of those things that you really can't just kind of go into it and approach. It's like it's such a
college, but it's different.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the problem is that people still kind of, at least this is my experience, people still view me as like a kid and all that, and they try to give me life lessons and all that. So, you know, we're at that age where we still have that barrier, but you know, who knows?
We're breaking it. We're breaking it every day.
Yeah, we are.
We're becoming a little bit more adults and everyone.
Which is terrifying all its own.
It was fucking great.
I don't think it's that great, you know, because now we can't have anyone else to blame but ourselves. You know,
that's okay.
I guess, but it's also terrifying.
Stop doing increasingly stupid things. People do a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah, people do a lot of dumb shit.
So, I don't know. I'm not going to name any names on here. I'm not going to just start throwing people under the bus. You know who you are.
Yeah, and we're coming for you. The Rock the Boat vigilante team. We want all our followers to eliminate any shitty people by means of force. Oh, man. Imagine if, like, someone actually... There probably is someone out there that has the balls to do that. But imagine if someone actually had real power and they started doing that. Like, pretty much what, like, the dictators do. That, like, rile up a crowd and literally assemble their own faction to take over the country, you know? Like, imagine if Alex Jones had his own little, like, squad of just, like, crazy soldiers that roamed and just, like, fucked shit up, you know? Like the SA that Hitler did or something like that. You know,
just his own little mercenary squad of selected soldiers.
Exactly. Like that.
You don't think that's already happening?
I don't think in the United States necessarily. If there is mercenary squads, it's kind of different. It's like a corporate kind of thing, you know, like PMCs. But like not like what Hitler did. But I think in the world that happens a lot.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's American soldiers going and doing it.
Oh yeah, well,
we have the best. We have the best trained.
Yeah, and we're very well equipped. But like, not even like this isn't like a private kind of like.
You're running through the government. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no. There's a lot of people in Syria and Iraq that are just literal volunteers. They're from Europe or the United States that are like former soldiers or. They were in PMCs and they just literally like join Kurdish forces or something like that, and they just fight ISIS. Like,
yeah, they just want to eradicate the scum.
Exactly, and I mean, like, more power to them with ISIS.
This podcast is definitely fuck ISIS.
Yeah, this is if you're pro ISIS, you should probably not listen to this podcast.
We're just gonna keep saying fuck ISIS until you leave. Fuck ISIS.
Next thing you know, there's gonna be those fucking beheading videos on our streams. Oh yes, praise Allah or some shit.
Dude, when it got posted to Reddit, there's the one that was in 4K.
Oh fuck!
I don't know if you watched those. Like,
no,
there was
I didn't
like
watch
three of them. There was like one where they got like gunned down by like a 50 cal machine gun.
Fuck.
Then one where they were like locked in the cage and thrown in a pool, and like you could tell like they didn't think they were actually gonna be drowned, so they probably did like a fake one first. And then just like pulled them back up. Like they were like shocked that they were actually being thrown in there, and then like they put like det cord around them, and then exploded the det cord.
Fuck!
And this was in 4K, so it was like it looked so real that it looked fake.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it looked so real, it almost looked CGI.
Yeah.
And it really quickly got pulled off the internet. I mean, you go on, you'll find it. You know where to find it if you're looking for it.
Yeah, though
it got pulled off LiveLeak.
Really?
Because that was where it was.
I mean, it is terrorist content.
Yeah, it's it's not quite like Live Leak is people killing themselves on live TV. It's
Yeah.
not quite executions.
Like
in
I
4K.
bet. Speaking of Live Leak, I went on a spree on r/combat footage a couple days
Dude,
ago.
I've lost myself in there too.
That shit is like intense. Like
Yeah.
there's some things like that are just like, holy fuck, this shit's happening. Like, imagine
Someone's filming it.
Yeah, imagine
Someone
if we
doesn't have
had
a gun out. They're just
Yeah.
hunkered down, just
like
filming
right
it.
next to them.
Did you see the one where the female sniper almost got hit?
Oh yeah, right above her head.
Yeah, I see just like
Holy
giggling. I was like, oh
That's
my god,
fucking
if you were,
crazy.
If you're in those type of conditions for that long, that'd probably be the response.
Yeah, the
That'd
one.
probably be what the response
Yeah,
is.
you kind of have to laugh it off
Yeah,
at that
that's
point.
crazy though. I'm glad you saw that too. I've lost myself in combat footage.
Mm-hmm.
There was an old TV show. I don't remember what the channel was.
Yeah.
Maybe the military channel. I don't know. But it was essentially combat footage. It was like
Just like from the front lines.
Combat Zone. Or
Have you
something.
ever seen the documentary Restrepo?
No, I've seen it on. So what? I don't know what.
It was on
streaming-
Netflix. I think
yeah.
it got taken off. But if you want, it's pretty much a hour-and-a-half long documentary in literally like the hottest forward base in Afghanistan. It's in the Korangal Valley, and it is fucking intense. Like it is tense from the very beginning, and they actually go through and they have like tons of firefights, and there's like A-10s running down and gunning down people, and you see civilian casualties and all this shit. It's like
Yeah.
it's really fucked, but it's incredibly good. Oh man, like what I always just kind of imagine is what if you had that in like fucking like ancient Rome. Like for some reason the body cam and the internet was invented. So everyone in ancient Rome when they were fighting with spears and shit had a body cam and they
I
like
wanna be on
showed
the
that shit.
chariot.
Oh fuck. Dude, like it just like that going into combat like with a sword just is terrifying to me, you know, because when you have a gun, you're still separate from that person for a little bit, especially with modern day guns. You can hit him from a very long distance. But if you're like a barbarian running into combat, you're like, you got a shield and you have to get within like 3 feet of the other dude to kill him. And you have to kill him brutally. Like you have to slash him up. It's like, oh man.
That's why shield and spear.
Oh yeah.
That's the way to do it, dude. You
Nah,
have the
nah,
extra-
to get the javelins, just.
But yeah, but you have I could block that, but having like a 6-foot lance,
Oh yeah,
you build, like,
dude.
you're fucked.
Yeah, you are fucked.
You're fucked. So I don't know. I don't know if you saw it. They just announced a new Total War game.
Really? They
The
did.
Three Kingdoms. So
It's China.
China, and I've always been very fascinated with the Three Kingdoms story. Because my brother and I played a shit ton of Dynasty Warriors.
Okay.
On PlayStation 2. Like,
All right, yeah.
First of all, we didn't know. We called everything. To be honest, it was kind of racist. We just make up an Asian sounding word if it was sounded kind of like it, and so that would
Yeah.
be what it is. We didn't really know any of the character names, but now the character names are so ingrained in
That-
my head,
yeah.
and they're what they look like, and even in the game. And for a long time, I didn't know that was based off a real story.
Really?
Yeah, it was just a game.
So all the character names are actually like real
People. Lu Bu was a real person.
Fuck, man, that's actually
Like
really cool.
it's really, I don't know. The story's pretty interesting. You know, essentially, I think it's the Han Dynasty. There's a child emperor. He's like 10 or 9.
okay.
He's been used as kind of a puppet
Mm-hmm.
for this big bad guy, Don Quay, I think.
Oh fuck. Okay.
And he's pretty much just a warlord.
All
He's
right.
very brutal on his people, but he's hiding behind this child emperor who's the actual dynasty, right? He's the actual bloodline.
Yeah.
And then he has Lu Bu, who's one of the greatest warriors in all the lands.
Okay,
He's,
yeah.
Apparently wasn't that crazy in real life, but
Oh, really?
But the thing is the story was written a couple hundred years after the events happened.
Okay.
So a lot of it is mystical. A lot
Yeah,
of it
it-
is these grand generals
Mm-hmm.
and these, heroic heroes and stuff like that. And then
Kind of
three
like
guys
larger
made
than life.
These
kinda.
three brothers made a brother pact to try to overthrow them and free China. And it's a great story. Lots of cool characters. But I don't know. I like Total War. I'm not good at it.
Me neither.
So I don't play them very often, but
Yeah.
I do really enjoy them because I think the settings that they pick for games are always really cool.
And also just the combat in general. But like honestly, Chinese, like shit like that in general, I don't know barely anything about it. Like,
Yeah.
but it's something that's so fucking like massive and large, and it's
They were untouched for a long time.
exactly, and they kind of remained isolated for like, it's
About the
amazing.
Japanese, I don't know shit about the Japanese.
Japanese.
They're on a fucking island, so they were very isolated.
Oh, Japanese history is fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
They like literally they had a military dictatorship. Well, they've had multiple different types of military dictatorships,
Are
but
you considering like shoguns?
yeah.
military dictators?
Oh no, they were military
Well,
dictators.
I'm saying, but you're considering.
Of
them,
course,
okay.
yeah, because they own the country forever. It's the same
They
kind of thing.
ruled
It's
by the
like
military, yeah.
it's such a different style of like how things went down. You know, like a great example is that like you can draw a lot of parallels between like Middle Eastern and European history because a lot of the same events kind of they had bleed over, they kind of grew up together, all that shit. But China and like the Far East were so isolated, same with India, that it was always very like different. It's just such a far cry from what we're used to in history. It's really fascinating to learn about, but I don't know much about it.
Yeah, dude. Like even in Dynasty Warriors, the character selection screen is divided by the
Three kingdoms?
divisions.
So-
and then there's a few more. There's like the rebel troops, and it's something.
Yeah. Like what?
I didn't know any
Shu,
of this
and
until
Wu.
recently, and I played these games for years.
Really? Fuck.
Years.
That's really cool.
So it added a lot of just like cool history. I don't even know my brother knows.
Oh, fuck.
I'm like I've never talked to him about it, so he might know. I doubt he does. I'll probably text him tonight.
Yeah, you should probably do that.
Talk to him
Honestly,
about it. It's
like,
hey, look it up. Like this shit's real.
oh fuck, technological advances were significant during this period. Wooden ox.
Yeah, the Yellow Turban Rebellion. There was a guy that looked like Jesus. We just called him Asian Jesus. He had the staff, and he could like do front flips with it.
That's fucking beautiful.
Zhang Zhuo, that's like I said, the big guy. He was just like big and beardy. I don't know, dude. I know all the characters, and it's so funny because hours, dude. Hundreds of hours into these games.
And you didn't know.
No idea.
That's fucking crazy.
Why would I bought it in a used bargain bin the first time. So I think I bought the first Dynasty Warriors game. I think it was Dynasty Warriors 2 on the PlayStation 2. I think I bought it for less than $5.
Wow. Okay.
It was at like EB Games or something. I don't even know where an EB Games is now.
I think Canada.
Yeah, dude, I don't know where they are, but and then we just started getting them because they were just fun. The body counts, you would get 600 kills in a match.
Shit.
Because that's the thing is like they're so mystical.
Yeah,
Asian
that they're
warriors
overpowered.
That, dude, their combos are crazy. Like I gotta show you. Like Lu Bu was always the craziest. Like everyone knows that. Here comes Lu Bu. Let's see, Dynasty Warriors 9. I don't think I played this one.
Oh fuck.
Let's just skip in here. Let's just see
Yeah.
some shit.
Let's just like see what he can do. Oh fuck.
He's already at 100. Okay? And like you get these like different power-ups and stuff. Now, like I said, this is a little crazier. They started adding like switching weapons for stances, which was kind of cool.
Oh fuck.
So inside also, so you're actually doing these whole battles. And there's like different generals will be in like all these different areas, and those are other officers, sometimes players.
Oh fuck.
And they'd have such big rosters of characters you could play as with very different like weapons.
Yeah.
One of the cool guys that I didn't play him often. He wasn't like oh yeah, look at these power ups.
Oh fuck. Just like half of them are
Oh,
dead.
it was really cool. So as you level
all
up
of
your
them are
character
dead.
too, as you leveled up your character, you could get better bodyguards and more bodyguards. And so I think
And then
I
they would
maxed
get
out with,
better?
like 10 bodyguards that were like Vanguard, like big old. And so like you could just kind of stand there and they would just fuck up most of the regular troops.
Oh, okay.
So they'd have your back because keeping a combo going is kind of big to be able to gain your meter.
Yeah. And meters or special attacks and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, very fun game. I don't know if they have any on Xbox because a lot of Asian markets, but I guess
Yeah.
it's China. Normally, the Japanese games are the PlayStation exclusives.
Yeah,
So
but
I guess maybe they do have them on Xbox. And they just haven't come out with one recently.
well, is this a Chinese game?
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I mean, shit,
no,
I-
knowing how much the Japanese hate the Chinese, I never know.
Japanese dog.
Fucking South Park, always relevant.
Yeah, dude.
fuck. Looks like a fun game.
They're very fun, and they're really fun to couch because you both just go and just destroy armies. Mm-hmm. There's like,
It's beautiful.
yeah, and now they did get brutally hard towards the end of a lot of the games.
Okay.
Where you had to take people out in a certain order, or you would get outnumbered by, and then like if you attack the general before you attack these guys, his bodyguards would just like, and his bodyguards were like actual characters. As
Yeah.
well, getting chain banged.
Just
And-
combos hitting you
Yeah.
left and right. Oh man, sounds pretty. It does sound pretty fun.
They're fun. It's what's the actual term called? I think they're a hack and slash mystical fighter or something. It's
Huh,
like
okay. Well, like what's
Like
like
Devil
Metal
May
Gear
Cry.
or Metal Gear Rising Revengeance or whatever it
what is
was.
that?
It's the one with Raiden as the main character, and he's like a cyborg. Look it up, Metal Gear Rising. Like, I never played it.
Is this the one where you could like cut with your stick?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw like a Reddit thing where he was like cutting watermelon. Metal.
Yeah, like metal, like iron.
Just gameplay.
Yeah, I guess so.
Should we just click on one here? I don't want commentary. I'm just gonna skip in here.
Yeah.
8 hours. Jesus, he played the whole game.
Oh fuck, he did. Damn.
The next area.
Oh, what
Give me some
was
just
this?
combat.
But it's not like you still have all the you have these like big boss battles like that are always in Metal Gear games. But like
He's just running around till he gets like a meter.
I guess so. It's like
He's just flicking the stick up and down. So I'm pretty sure that was the gimmick. Was your right stick was your sword movement?
oh shit. Just like crazy, dude.
I don't know, dude. Metal Gear games were too Asian for me.
Like that shit.
That's
Yeah,
what
Metal Gear games are actually kind of hard to get in. There's only one Metal Gear game that I could finish, and that was
I
3.
never got into them.
And even 3, I was just like, what the fuck's going on, man?
There was like the gorilla, and then there was like the old guy.
Oh yeah, there was in Metal Gear 3 there was like
How many different snakes? That never made sense to me.
no in Metal that was the reason why Metal Gear 3 was simple, because it was
Okay.
no snakes. There was just really one snake, and
And it
it's
was
how
just
he
Big
became
Boss?
Snake. It was Big Boss, yeah.
Okay.
But there was still like there was the boss, there was like the main Russian guy, there was like all his henchmen. It was just like not bonkers, but it was just like I don't know what's going on.
It was out there, that's for sure.
Yeah, but the thing is, there are some very memorable moments in the the thing that Donkey always does anytime that there's a ladder. There's like, what a thrill! Like there's literally an entire scene where you have to go up this fucking ladder up this really really tall shaft, and they're playing the fucking theme in the background, but it's just like the woman's voice going through. It's like, oh, this is dramatic and shit. It's like,
But you're just crawling a ladder.
yeah, exactly. But it's a good game. It's really weird though.
The fifth one, the Phantom Pain, looked fun.
Oh, I actually played that. I didn't complete it though.
That looks like an actual fun game. Which
Yeah.
I thought Metal Gear games weren't supposed to be fun. Like I thought that was like kind of the gimmick was like,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to have any fun. You're
It's
just
like
supposed to like get
cutscenes.
through these cutscenes to like
Yeah.
see where the fuck this is going.
Well, that's the thing with Metal Gear 3. And granted, I played it on Vita, so that might be another reason why I didn't like it
You
that
liked
much.
your Vita at the time.
I kind of liked my Vita at the time.
Did you buy it just because you were like, I'm a PlayStation fanboy?
Not really, because I didn't buy a PlayStation. Like, it's not that I'm a fanboy of PlayStation. It's because I thought that it was going to pretty much give a PlayStation, like a console quality experience. Like, I always thought of the 3DS as kind of like a sub-tier thing. It was its
Definitely
own
was.
thing. Yeah,
The
but
computing
like the
power was
Vita was
different.
marketed as like this wonderful, like, it pretty much can do everything your console can do, and then you can crossplay. But there was never any games for it. Nothing ever really worked like it should have. It didn't. It still wasn't as fun as playing on a console. But anyway, Metal Gear 5, like it was fun to play. It is still fun to play.
Junkie's video made it so funny with all the clones and just like hiding in the middle of them all.
It
He
is.
just messed with the AI because it was really goofy.
Yeah, and that's why it was really fun, because like there were so many little things that you could do, like that were just like you could just do random shit and you didn't know you could do it.
That's why I want to. That's honestly why I really kind of want to play the new Zelda game.
Yeah.
I kind of want to switch because the new Zelda game. I've never been a Zelda fan, but that looks really fun.
It looks really fun that you can just do so much with it. Like, I think that's the big problem with these big AAA open world games. You know, you kind of just end up
one trick.
Yeah, exactly. Like Far Cry is an excellent example of that. At least Far Cry like 4. Far Cry 3 was unique and all that.
I got an hour into Far Cry 3. You play shit the bed on me the entire time. I never had any audio in the game. And then once it finally just froze, it's when I first met the black guy. And we drove in the Jeep and we had to like go fight somebody.
Okay.
I got out of the Jeep, killed the guys. When I got back in the Jeep, it just fucking crashed, and I never opened the game again. Because you can eat my asshole.
Oh yeah, Uplay is fucking horrible. Like, and Ubisoft in general is horrible. Same with EA.
They just don't want to finish.
Like,
they don't want to finish. EA is crooked because they purposely don't finish their games.
And then they release them at
is incompetent.
Yeah.
They don't finish their games.
Well, which is worse, like incompetence or malicious intent?
I'll do malicious intent. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with
that. A lot of those games have been patched and are a lot better.
Yeah.
Everyone's praising it, but Rainbow Six Siege, isn't that Ubisoft as well? Mm-hmm. That game was shit on release.
Yeah.
I played one of the free weekends, one of the first months.
Yeah.
Ass. It's really fun now. I'm not good at it, so I don't play it. That's the honest truth. I'm not really good at it, so I don't play it.
I've not. Tom Clancy games were always like really hit or miss. Like,
oh yeah, I've had a lot of fun in them, and I've also just like
really not liked a lot of them. Like, where's I used to play the old ones, like the ones from the 1990s, and
Hello.
I used to play the ones.
Girlfriend just walked in. No, I played Ghost Recon 2 kind of far through. And then I think there was 2 other Ghost Recons I owned, and only one of them I really played. I don't remember.
You know what was crazy is like in the first Ghost Recon game predicted a war that happened.
Like it actually happened?
It didn't actually happen like how Ghost Recon went down, but it was something. So pretty much there was the storyline of the game is that in 2008 there was going to be some problem in the Caucasus, which is on the eastern side of the Black Sea. It's kind of in between the Black Sea and the Caspian. A lot of mountains and all that, really kind of torn up for the centuries, been under a bunch of different empires. Anyway, they predicted that there was a war that was going to happen there, and something actually went down. Fucking Russia invaded Georgia, which is in the Caucasus, in 2008. So it was just really weird. It's one of these things that like,
it's interesting.
It's kind of like The Simpsons predicting a lot of things. Like The Simpsons actually, like, they made a joke about Donald Trump being president.
I didn't even know that.
Like that, it's really funny. It's like Lisa, that they like kind of go into the future and Lisa's president, and she's like complaining about a big deficit that Donald Trump produced or something like that. And Donald Trump was her predecessor or something like that. It was really kind of weird, and
that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess a broken clock is still right twice.
Exactly, that's the thing.
And they've been around for so long.
Oh yeah, and their whole thing is literally satire. Also, when they made the joke, Donald Trump had run for president, but he ran in the Reform Party or something like that. That's something that really annoyed me. Is recently he tweeted. Granted, he lies through his teeth all the time on Twitter, but on Twitter he actually like stated, he's like, "I won the presidential race the first time." It's like, no, you didn't. You didn't. Like, it's just like that. It's easily, you didn't run as a Republican, but still, it doesn't fucking matter. You fucking dingus.
Yeah, dude. Man. And he's always gonna be super salty at the NFL.
Oh yeah,
because he tried to get a team in the expansion and they didn't let him, and so he bought the New Jersey team in the AFL, which was the one of there's the AFL, the XFL.
Yeah,
the
one
NFL,
of these minor leagues.
They were all trying to compete for the main shit.
Mm-hmm. And it never worked out.
AFL eventually went out, so did the XFL.
Yeah. I remember
he's just been salty at the NFL, dude.
God damn it. Donald Trump's just interesting character. Very interesting character. Like, he's one of these people that you will have to really write books about to like really grasp what he is, because he's utterly unique in American politics in terms
dude,
of like.
I don't want Oprah,
Oh no, I'm me neither.
I don't want
want
Oprah.
any more of this shit.
and it has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman.
I don't want any
tired of
more
people saying
fucking
that, too.
actors unless Oprah runs
With
fucking
a real competent person.
Yeah, okay. I would be okay if Oprah ran fucking California for 8 years and did at least kind of well. You know, maybe I'll give her a pass because there's precedent with that. But none of this, I do not want any more I'm a celebrity, vote for me shit, because
Dude,
it's kind of
It's gonna
terrifying.
happen now. You know that.
I know, and that's what scares me most about Trump's presidency is not what he's going to do, because he can't
It's
do
what
anything.
he's done.
Yeah, it's exactly.
he's
It's like
done
the
to the
precedent
system.
that he's set. It's now the American election system is kind of a joke.
Okay, honestly though, I think the idea of a president is a little bit ridiculous now.
Oh well, what it's turned into is
Well, it's one guy with trying to just the amount of. It's not really just the amount of power, but it's the amount of shit he has to do.
yeah.
It's a little bit ridiculous to put on one person.
Well, and also like okay, think about what Britain does, and I want to actually say that a constitutional monarchy in this day and age might actually be more successful, because think about it. What is the president now? He is both a celebrity and an actual person that has to legislate and
That's true.
like be an executor. With Britain, yeah, the prime minister might get into a couple scandals, but who is good? Who are the British papers going to write about when it comes to drama? They're always going to write about the Queen and
That's why we need to put
what is
Kim
Kate
Kardashian
Middleton
in the White House.
Exactly. That's the thing. We need to elect a designated famous person for the United States, and then an actual fucking magistrate or something like that actually does everything, because it's fucking.
Yeah.
It's you only get very rare times where you get someone that's very, very confident and really celebrity status, has that like air of like, everyone likes him and all that, and also be competent at government. Like like Ronald Reagan and Barack Obama are like the only two in recent memory. I wouldn't even include JFK because he was a fucking idiot.
JFK.
JFK is a fucking idiot, and I hate everyone that like actually likes him.
Hey, dude, I like JFK. He's on the half quarter.
Oh yeah.
You on the half quarter, dog? I got a big shiny one of him.
Oh fuck! I just remembered there was this girl I met in fucking college that was entirely obsessed with JFK, like constantly fucking buying books of just JFK quotes, reading biographies all the fucking time. It's like, bitch, just read a fucking history book and learn what this guy did, because he's fucking crazy. Like, I'm sorry. He was running against Richard Nixon, and I know that Richard Nixon, what he eventually did, but Richard Nixon was a way better president than JFK. Or at least at the time.
That's probably true.
Think about this. When is the closest time we've ever been to blowing ourselves up? Under JFK. Cuban Missile Crisis. And he directly led us to the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Hey, can we not say that right now we're closer to blowing ourselves up?
We're pretty freaking.
Oh, no,
No,
we're
we're
not.
not.
We're not. Okay, I know we like to think that, but
Twitter likes to tell me so.
Twitter does, and I even joke about that we're going to be put into a nuclear wasteland. But it, like...
We're very far away from that.
Yeah,
The
okay,
world
so-
wouldn't let that happen.
So North Korea, just in terms of how many nukes they have, they don't have that large of...
Did they actually nuke one of their own cities in a test?
No.
Oh,
No, they
about to say.
they exposed one of their cities to radiation, I think. But I mean, everyone does that. The United States did that.
Yeah.
So,
Are you microwaving something? No.
oh.
Then you're giving us all radiation.
Well,
But-
I see 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's your phone do? 5 things that can radiate. 5
well, we're radiating too.
You know they have
Yeah.
radiation-proof boxers, so it doesn't kill you.
That's
Laptop on your
definitely not true. But I mean, like, not radiation proof. They probably just...
Radiation resistant.
I mean, what are they, lead? Which is...
They're boxers. I don't shop boxers. I just thought like it'll keep the radiation from your laptop from getting into your balls. So I was like,
Have you seen the people that are like obsessed with like being away from Wi-Fi because they think it's gonna make them infertile and shit like that?
Yeah, I saw those isolation
flat earthers.
cabins.
Yeah, you know where they are. They're in this place in like it's one of the Midwest states. But the reason why there's just this block, like this part of land that has no radiation interference, is not because a bunch of crazy people are living there. It's because they literally have the one of the most sensitive radio telescopes in the world there, and they want to eliminate all radio sources
Crazy.
around. Yeah, it is crazy.
What's it called?
Oh fuck, I forgot what it is. Just look up largest movable radio telescope.
Green Bank Telescope.
Yeah, that's what it is. West Virginia.
West Virginia. Is that actually the one you were thinking of?
Yeah, exactly. That's the exact one. It's fucking crazy, dude.
What does it do?
It just points at random points in the stars and just like gets radiation from it. It's the same as like any other telescope. It's just
So if I play Lil Xan next to it, would it pick it up?
no, those are sound waves, not radio waves.
So they're what are they trying to? They're just trying to see if anything's there.
Well, the radio waves are really good for measuring like distant objects. They're good for, it just depends on what you're looking at, because everything kind of in the universe, it emits something, you know, like planets. If you want to look at planets, you want to look in the infrared spectrum. If you want to look at like supernovas and all that, you might want to look in gamma or something like that.
Dude, that fucking looks crazy.
It is crazy. It's fucking massive, dude. But that's not even the biggest ones. Look up
Biggest ones are the big craters, right? That's where
yeah, the ones that like. Did you ever see the James Bond movie GoldenEye? Yeah, that shit.
and he falls.
Oh man, it's
This
just
is movable.
yeah. This one can like pivot and like
Oh, okay.
look across the sky. What's even crazier though is that they're actually like
This one.
yeah,
Dude, this is huge.
they're like going to
500 meters.
Oh yeah, it's fucking
diameter.
massive. It's in Costa Rica, I think. Oh no, this is the one in China, isn't it? Yeah, this is the one in China. Yeah, China's like really fucking flexing its muscles now. But anyway, they are going to try to link all these radio telescopes together, and what that's going to do is it's pretty much going to make an effective size of the telescope as big as the Earth. Because you have multiple different points across the Earth all measuring the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like they're theorizing that they're going to be able to see like details of a black hole with it, which is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But you know, it's kind of even saying that is kind of a misnomer because you can't really see the black hole.
You just see things around it.
Exactly. And that's how we know that they're there now, is like stars orbiting just random points. So fucking crazy though.
Whoa.
Space is crazy.
That's cool.
That's the one in West Virginia.
No, it's not.
Is it not? Oh, it isn't. The Lovell.
The other one looked crazier. I don't know. This shit is crazy. And you're
wait,
right, dude.
Boost?
China is flexing. Have you seen Hong Kong now?
Oh yeah. It's fucking
crazy.
Oh, look at Shanghai.
Yeah,
dude.
I was looking. I watched I think it was Anthony Bourdain. It was one of his shows. Love Anthony Bourdain. If I'm having my big celebrity, I'm dying of cancer, everyone sit at my fucking table, he's invited.
I kind of
got
just don't
him.
want to meet him because he seems kind of like a jerk, you know?
Dude, I don't care. That's him. He's just such an interesting man.
Yeah,
He's just
he is.
very interesting, opinionated, and his job is something I would want to do.
Oh, of course.
Travel like that. Him or the guy from River Monsters. I'd want to do either.
Oh, I want to see the guy. Yeah, I want to meet the guy from River Monsters.
I want to do his job. Think about it. It's not just about the fishing though.
Yeah,
he gets to travel and do. He gets to learn about culture like that.
Yeah, that is
He's
true.
Fishing with tribal people in Africa using hand lines, like
Or like going into Cambodia, like
Yeah.
in small tributaries
crazy.
of
I
Mekong.
mean, and some of he'll do like 50 hours on a train because you can't get where he's trying to get through anywhere else. Like the India episode, like most of it was travel because he was just like having to go up these fucking mountains in India,
Yeah.
and there's just no other way besides
Fucking
buses and
crazy,
trains.
dude. Oh man. What were we, speaking of mountains in India, That would fucking be something. Trying to go to the Himalayas.
Yeah, you can't solo climb it anymore, so I'm out.
Oh no! But the thing is that you're climbing like 30,000 feet.
I know, dude.
So
I wanted to do it solo. That was the only way I was going to do it.
like
so.
there was like I forgot. I'm gonna misquote this statistic, but the amount of people that die on K2, it's like 1 in 8 climbers that try to climb K2 die. Like, think about how fucking crazy that is. If 1 in 8 people died doing anything in the United States, we would immediately ban it. But like 1 in 8 people try to climb this fucking mountain that's not even the tallest in the world, it's the second tallest, and die. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, my cousins climbed Mount Kilimanjaro
Really?
this past year.
Oh fuck, that would be cool.
Hey, onion.
I want to climb one of the like I would love to go to like Hawaii or something like that and climb one of those volcanoes.
Yeah.
What is it, Mauna Loa? Oh, they have some awesome telescopes on top of there too. 14K club.
That's not it. There's like essentially this group of mountains that are over a threshold, and there's like 10 of them in the world, and it's like a lot of people try to do all of them, and it's I don't remember the number. 12K, I don't know.
No, it's it's like above like 25,000 feet, but it's measured in meters, so it's like the 8K club. Try that 8K
8K.
or 7K club.
Don't think that's
No,
it.
that's not it.
It's not that. Well, okay, whatever it is. I think that. I mean, there's just a list of them.
Yeah, but honestly, I couldn't even probably climb a fucking mountain in the Smokies or the fucking Appalachia, let alone a fucking Himalayan mountain. That shit's like terrifying because like, okay, think about this. If you go to the top of Mount Everest, like if you were just like teleported from where we are right now in Houston, Texas, 100 feet above sea level maybe, and transported to the top of Mount Everest, we would die within like 3 minutes. But people like that actually are accustomed to that altitude actually can walk up there and like survive at that altitude. That's fucking crazy to me.
I would die.
I mean, yeah.
Lack of oxygen and hypothermia. I'm out.
Well, yeah, but we're assuming that you go to base camp and you get a little bit
Don't they go up and then back down and then up?
no, they go to like the base of the mountain, which is like 5,000 feet below the summit.
Flags on and shit.
Yeah, and then they climb up. So, and it takes a couple days to get up.
8,000ers.
8,000er, that's what
There
it is.
There's the 14 mountains.
They have
Oh.
14 right somewhere.
It's
Yeah, exactly, right?
well, it was over 8,000
Meters.
So that's what. Okay.
Yeah. Like, look. Fucking
First
look at all the
summits
deaths.
first summits in winter. Look at all the Polish people.
Death rate. 29%.
Oh, it's fucking higher than that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
29%?
Yeah.
That's 3 in 10
out of
people.
10, Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so
That's close to
the
1/8.
people that went up to the people that died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the people that went up here,
Yeah.
like that's nothing.
Comparatively, yeah.
Yeah.
Though that's not even the highest. What's this one? Annapurna 1? 33%.
Oh, yeah. A lot less people do that one, too.
Holy crap.
Why would they do that one? It's in Nepal.
Well,
Well, that's where Everest is. And in China.
I just knew it was in China. I didn't know it was in Nepal.
It's not real. Like China.
It was like
China
outside
claims
the
it.
mountain.
Yeah, like the peak itself is actually in Nepal, but like China has a side of the mountain. Like K2's in like mostly in Pakistan. That's kind of terrifying. Trying to go to Pakistan to climb a mountain.
I'd die.
Yeah. Well, no, you have the skin tone to do it. You could probably pose.
Yeah, but as soon as I open my mouth,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. Just crazy just.
you'd go there and die immediately.
Oh, that well,
You.
maybe.
White people.
I don't know. Maybe they would think we're CIA operatives and they wouldn't fuck with us.
I don't care. Walk
Dude,
out in the village and they see
These people went to
pale-faced.
all 14.
Oh fuck. Damn. Kazakhstani.
There's only 39 people.
That are verified. So these guys are the disputed.
What do you mean disputed?
Climbers
These are
which not enough evidence
evidence.
has proven to verify ascents at all 14 feet.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Only one of them's dead.
Like, oh, that's putting into perspective how tall these mountains are.
Vladislav.
Where's? Oh yeah, they renamed Mount McKinley. I keep forgetting.
What did they name it to?
Denali.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's not that bad of a name. I'm not gonna
Okay.
complain.
Okay, and with that, I think we're going to take a break, and we'll be back.
All right.
What you waiting for? It feels like I could see the past in your eyes. I know the future has been passing you by. These are the
How's it going, Jim? How was your little break?
Oh, it was a very nice little break. You know, got some water. You know.
It was a nice break. You were talking off mic.
Oh,
You
yeah.
wanted to circle back to the whole North Korea,
nuclear situation. Yeah.
Cuba Missile Crisis comparison.
Yeah,
how
but-
they're-
yeah.
they're similar, but really not similar at all.
Yeah, I don't want to be imposing, but still,
Do I need to pull up anything?
I could probably do it. I'll, if there's something that I would like you to pull up, I'll probably tell you about it.
Cool.
But the whole idea and the whole atmosphere around this nuclear situation compared to one's previous is we have a rogue state now that has a handful of nukes. They have the capability to launch them far away, but they don't have full strike capability. They're not like going to obliterate the United States with one fell stroke. They're going to like take out a couple cities maybe if they choose to go that route. But in like the Cuban Missile Crisis, you had two powers that had over 10,000 nukes each, you know,
Yeah.
and they were literally saying, if you go this far, we're going to nuke you multiple times during the crisis, and they still broke each other's rules and all that shit. It's so much. It was so
Was it a
much.
game of bluffs or what?
Yeah, it was a game of brinksmanship completely, but it's very scary because with the communications that we had back then weren't the same that we have nowadays. The international community wasn't the same. You know, it was an actual confrontation that would have, if this would have happened without nuclear weapons, if there weren't nuclear weapons around, there would have been a war in Cuba, hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down. If Russia, if nuclear weapons were never invented and Russia was just putting missiles on Cuba aimed at American cities, we would have invaded Cuba.
Here's Alpine.
Oh yeah. This is running back to the Davis Mountains, but it's all beautiful out there. I went kind of up here in the Davis Mountains, so a little bit north. If you actually zoom in, you might actually be able to see the place I went. Oh well. But yeah, just from space, it's just beautiful.
I derailed you.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine. Honestly, I was just gonna rant on that subject. It's one of those subjects that I love to rant on. Oh yeah, those driving down the road look a lot different than what they look like from space.
Really? There's tons of them. Look at them all.
Yeah. Well, actually, just zoom out. Go to like the panhandle.
Dude, there's tons of them right here. Holy shit.
So,
The Lubbock area.
yeah, you could go around there. There's gonna be a lot.
What we're looking at is there's these like weird, almost perfectly circular patches
Just
of
like
land.
look over here. Like it almost looks like craters from space. What they are they're so a really efficient way to like water your fields is you literally have a giant.
No way.
You have like this giant beam that has all the sprinklers on it, and it covers like it can cover a very large distance. And they just pretty much put a water spigot in the middle with a swivel. They drag that big thing around, and they just water it the whole field.
Really?
Yeah, and it's so simple that way. So you don't have to put like a complex irrigation throughout the field, and you can disassemble them really easily.
Dude, look how big this one is.
Oh yeah.
This one's like 2 times as big. We can actually do that.
Actually, here's actually a good
What?
reference. That's 2,000 feet. So that's like almost a mile in diameter.
Like, let's see.
Like, jeez.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much like about 4,000 feet from side to side. That's pretty much like an eighth of a mile,
crazy.
or like 8/10 of a mile.
Like you can even
4/5 of a
kind
mile.
of see it too the more you zoom in.
Oh yeah, you can actually see that beam
Yeah.
right there.
And look, you can see the tracks.
Mhm.
And there's like the wheels.
Yeah, it's a really elegant solution. Whoever invented that is probably filthy rich now.
Would it be circular irrigation?
Yeah, I wonder what they're called. Yeah, just type in circular irrigation. Central pivot.
Yeah.
That's what it is. There's a how it's made. I need to watch that one later. Holy shit.
Yeah, so you're right. They're just like these big things on wheels.
Mhm. And you see,
Oh my
if you
God.
ever drive, especially in Texas, if you ever drive down the road in Texas, you'll see a ton
And
of
they don't
these.
even have to be circles.
Yeah, some of them are like only half circles. Some of them, only cover. Like, look at that picture.
Yeah. A couple Pac-Mans. in
Oh,
there.
look at these. Like, that are just. Oh, man.
Wow. That's just a Shutterstock.
Like, that is, like, beautiful right there, whoever took that photo.
Look at that. They will actually focus.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
It-
You're really not missing out on that much
Mhm.
land doing it. I mean, just the corners, and
Yeah.
being a math
It-
major, I want to crunch the numbers. but I'm
to
not
tie
going
it
to.
back to nuclear weapons, go and look up on Google Maps Area 17. I think it's 17. It might not be 17. Try 19. It's one of the teens. Just go to like Google Maps and look at this shit. I might literally have to just like look around Nevada for a second. Look up Area 17 again. Sorry, I'm being imposing. Okay, let me look. All right. New York.
New York.
Damn.
Yeah, you're not in the right place.
Yeah, I need to go to Nevada, and we need to go satellite too. All right, let's see if I can find Groom Lake first, or if I can just. All right, so Las Vegas is down here, and they were doing them northwest. I think. Is this it? And that's not it. Oh man, I just need to find the right salt flat. That's the real like fucking problem. It's
Nevada.
yeah, it's just all the fucking same.
They have more public lands than any other state.
Really?
Yeah, they rival Alaska about public lands.
Holy shit, I didn't know
You
that.
just go up there and hunt.
All right, real quick, type in Groom Lake.
Gloom Lake.
Groom Lake. That's Area 51 if you're wondering. Okay. So this is Groom Lake. Oh, and this is also interesting. Look at this fucking runway.
Yeah.
It's fucking massive. That's like the size of Bush Intercontinental's runways. It's
Yeah.
like double the size. It's fucking amazing. Is it north? Fuck. Maybe it is this.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for craters, and they're all in a row, just like those pictures.
But they're actually craters.
Yeah, they're nuclear craters. From where we tested our weapons, and I can't remember where they are. Fuck. If we
Area 11, maybe?
no. I thought it was Area 17. I really did. Where was Groom Lake again? Groom Lake was down here. It was like. All right, I'm gonna have to look this up real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
All right. We're kind of getting derailed. Sorry about this.
Nevada. You look, you can even see him like this high up.
Yeah, just those like fields. Yeah. Just type in Nye County.
Nye County.
Yeah, NYE County. Southeastern. So. Oh.
It's right here.
That's helpful. All right, so southeastern. So wait, okay. I think I know where it is. That might actually be it. Oh yeah.
You found it.
Yeah. So
Holy shit.
yeah, if you look all around here, and especially when you get down here, look at like they literally like lined them up. They put them in like a pattern. Yeah, and they just tested them all throughout here. There's just hundreds of them. Like there's some that are really big. Like, look at that. It's fucking amazing. And the thing is, like, okay, this is where they tested them. This is Las Vegas. So it's like very close.
You're right.
It's fucking scary, dude. Like,
Fucking sweet.
like look at this one. Just this one alone.
That's a big boy.
It is a big boy. What is this? Sedan crater.
You can go stand in it. Fucking cool.
Oh, fuck.
Largest man-made crater in the U.S. marks the spot where we once tested
Mining.
nuclear weapons.
Oh, it was. Oh, I remember reading about this. It was to see if nuclear weapons could be used for construction and like mining and stuff like that. You just so if you have like a large like quantity of iron ore in an area, you just put a nuke down there. You blow it up, and then you just extract all that iron ore. They found that it just gets irradiated, so like it's not really efficient, but it's still a really cool part of history. It's crazy that we did that. Just like
Yeah, it wasn't always as controversial.
yeah, and a lot less was known about it when they were doing it, but they did it so recklessly, and there's some really fucking like fucked up experiments because of it. Like some islands are just
They
like
dropped the nuke 600 feet down a shaft
damn. Oh, that's like
into the desert floor, and then it exploded.
oh fuck, what was
104 kiloton bomb.
Look up Alaskan nuclear test real quick.
It lifted the ground above the dome over 300 feet before it broke the surface.
Holy shit. 12 million tons of dirt got blown away. Look up Alaskan nuclear test because there was only one in Alaska. Cool. There we go. All right. Look up just look up like the video. Just
This one?
yeah. Kind of fast forward through it. We just get to the good parts. They're just
Oh, wow. Let's get back.
so this is its detonation.
Oh my god, look at all the water.
Yeah.
The instant shockwave. Oh my god.
They detonated it underground. It was a 3 megaton nuclear weapon. It killed everything on the island and everything in the surrounding waters. Just by that shockwave alone. It like Greenpeace itself was actually started because of this. Because it was such a destructive test and it killed so much that they were like, we can't do this. And this is when this test bans and all that started getting into action. It was this test and a couple of the nuclear tests as well, or like high altitude tests. It's crazy. Like look at the rocks fall off.
I'm
Like
get pulled by YouTube.
yeah, seriously.
Just could just watch it, but
It's-
it's fucking crazy. So how far did they detonate it underground?
I don't know. Look up Canakin nuclear test. That's what it's called.
I want to keep watching this though. I'm like amazed.
It is. It's amazing that we did this.
Look
Like,
at the destruction. Holy shit.
and those were all like supposed to be,
It killed everything on the island.
yeah, or almost everything. I guess you can't really, like,
Oh my god. November 6, 1971. 5 megatons of TNT.
oh, 5. Never mind.
No, it was with the
Yeah. That's a 5 megaton nuke.
yeah. It's crazy. 6,000 feet deep.
Isn't that crazy? It like 6,000 feet down. It did that.
Just you guys got to look it up.
It's fucking amazing. Like this is
Alaskan nuclear test.
it kind of shows how much capability us humans nowadays have on affecting the environment. One single event pretty much wiped out an island. Like, that's fucking crazy. It's utterly mind-boggling that we have this technology, and we did this like 50, 60 years ago. Like, damn. Yeah, they detonated it way out in the boonies.
Is this the same one?
Yeah. I think this is the actual name of the island, and I think that's the test name, Kanakin, something like that.
That's so far out, dude.
Yeah, it is. Alaska's a fucking huge place,
I
though.
want to go there so bad. Like, I really, really
Yeah.
want to go see it.
Like, honestly, that's one of the places in the United States that I really want to visit. It's just so beautiful,
it's so
man.
different than everything else. I mean, all you could say the same thing with Hawaii, but
Yeah. The only thing that I've heard that's really bad about it is the fucking mosquitoes. They said that's the state bird of Alaska. Apparently, the mosquitoes are horrible up there.
yeah, I bet. It uses Japanese base.
Oh, yeah.
They grabbed some of the islands. Here's the
Oh,
nuclear
yeah. That was
testing.
They did that to divert attention from Midway. They were going to grab a couple of the Aleutian Islands, and then they were like, that's American territory. So, we were going to respond to that, and then they were going to attack Midway, which was like way more strategically important. But then we put 3 carriers there and killed them. So, yeah. $80 kilotons. 7.0
on the Richter scale.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
That it really is crazy. It really puts, what we were doing with that shit into perspective. Damn.
Yeah. Shoving it down the
Yeah, and it looks just like a fucking nuclear missile.
Yeah.
Like they light it up, just have it burn it up in the shit. Yeah, just launches
shoot
down the
down
fucking
into it,
shaft.
dude.
Oh my god. That'd be fucking hilarious.
No, but that much power. It was able to move that much Earth.
Mm-hmm. It's just it's utterly amazing. Like
It's very scary.
Mm-hmm. Well, so this was 5 megatons. The largest we've ever detonated was 50 well, we didn't detonate it. It was the Russians. It was 50 megatons. That thing, the mushroom cloud literally went into the mesosphere, which is like
What's it called again?
Tsar Bomba.
That's what I thought.
TSAR Bomba.
Bomba. Bomba. Oh my god.
Yeah, like that's comparing the. So
oh my god.
Like that puts it into perspective. Like, oh, it's just utterly amazing.
That's how tall. The Red Bull guy.
Like
That's
Jesus,
incredible.
like look at the actual picture of it, because that's like it's utterly crazy.
It doesn't even look real.
It doesn't.
It doesn't even look
really.
real.
And the thing is that like since it was in the 60s and all that, you don't get the beautiful recordings
Is
that
this
you see
real?
nowadays. Also, since it was they had to evacuate the area so much that they couldn't even fly planes really around it.
Well, hell no.
They were worried that the plane that even dropped the bomb was like not
gonna
going to
make
get
it
away.
out.
Yeah.
Drop it high, drop it fast.
They dropped it high. They had a fairly fast plane. It was still a propeller-driven plane. I don't think this is real.
I don't think this is real either.
Still really pretty.
The physics of it.
Yeah.
Too. The reason why it's a mushroom cloud and the shockwave.
Yeah. And like
I
what's
don't
actually
think
going on in
it's
the
too
reaction?
centered.
Yeah, it's too
Why is
centered.
that why I
And,
think it's not real.
and it kind of looks like CGI.
Dude, that's so fucking real.
Dude, these things are just fucking amazing.
Raw footage. Castle Bravo.
Yeah, Castle Bravo was the largest nuke ever launched by or detonated by the United States, and it was a lot larger. No, wait, was it Ivy Mike? No, this one was the one that we didn't think it was going to be this big.
How? How did we not think?
Because we didn't calculate it properly or something like that. Like it's honestly that, because think about like with these weapons, we pretty much we knew a lot about, well, we didn't know that much about like fission and all that when we developed them, but we didn't like just have a clump of uranium one day and we just like saw that it exploded in our hands. We literally were like, oh well, these reactions are happening at this scale. If we add them up and we design it in this certain way, it'll actually detonate. There's actually a really nice series that kind of gives you a very brief introduction to how nuclear weapons were developed. You know Scott Manley, the guy that does all the Kerbal Space Program videos?
No, I'm not.
Pretty much he's
familiar.
famous for like literally just doing cool shit in Kerbal Space Program.
Yeah,
but he's
I've probably seen him on Reddit then.
yeah, he changed his kind of whole channel to not being that much Kerbal Space Program, and he's just kind of like an educational science channel now. And one of the things he did was this like 5-part series about nuclear weapons, and it was really actually pretty good. So it's a nice, very introductory kind of idea to nuclear weapons. So
Shrimp. I really don't want to read all this.
oh yeah, it's just a bunch of fucking weird shit.
But there was a base around it. Like they.
It was an atoll. It was just an island, and it pretty much destroyed the island, and it dumped radiation everywhere. Like, where was it? Yeah, so Castle Bravo's yield was 15 megatons, 2.5 times the predicted 6 megatons, due for unforeseen additional reactions involving lithium-7, which led to unexpected radioactive contamination of areas to the east of Bikini Atoll. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So they just put it in something with lithium or.
So how they do hydrogen bombs? Granted, I'm not a nuclear scientist, and I don't know that much.
That's why, fuck, we gotta scrap this whole podcast.
Yeah, we do. But the actual how they work is that the nuclear device, the fission device, detonates itself, and then there's pretty much another group of it's usually like some sort of lithium or deuterium or tritium, which are types of hydrogen that are just in this jacket, in this device, and they designed in such a way that certain things will react at certain times and all this shit. And I'm guessing with this that they didn't realize how much power one of the things was going to output, one of those elements. It's kind of scary that we just did this and we didn't expect this to happen. Like, what if like for some fucking reason we would have found that this reaction actually produced 1,000 times the yield that we originally thought? You know, what would have happened? Would the atmosphere would have caught on fire or some shit? I don't know. You know,
That would have been horrible.
everyone would have died. You know,
Yeah.
Fuck,
in
dude.
peace, everybody.
it's really kind of just like the whole idea of nuclear weapons is kind of scary and crazy. Honestly, the methods that we have to kill each other nowadays is just mind-boggling, to say the least. Oh man. Anyway, enough about depressing topics. We've been talking about nuclear weapons for a little bit now, so
Yeah. War.
war in general is just it's something, at least with me.
Very interesting, but I like reading. I'm definitely gonna get back into this Three Kingdoms shit, dude.
What I actually have a hard time relating to people that say that they can't get into. Well, actually no, I can. A lot of people say that they don't like history because it's boring, and it's because which is bullshit because
they've been taught that way.
yeah, and I think I'm trying to remember back to like high school and like how I was taught in grade school history. It is very boring. It's like this is the things that happen. This is the results of what happened. But there's so much just like romance and drama in history. There's a reason why a lot of our stories nowadays aren't fictional. They're real, like based off of true events, because truth is often stranger than fiction. It's often, it has that storyline, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's just pointless almost. And that's what's so great and like fascinating about it. Thinking about like the Three Kingdoms situation, something so mythic and legendary. You can make a fucking fighting game about it. Like, think about that. That's just fucking crazy. And that this isn't just the only thing that you can do. Like, oh man, like think about the new Wonder Woman movie. That was all based about like her going into like World War I and killing some DC villain, but the DC villain was like working for the Germans or some shit like that. It's stuff like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. For sure, dude.
Yeah,
So you don't play any Kerbal Space Program anymore?
I do occasionally.
I was never very good at that game, but I also never. I don't know, that type of game just doesn't really interest me. So
Honestly, I
don't
just dick around and build shit in it. I don't usually try to get to any, crazy solar systems. I'm
What's
always
the farthest you've got? Like, what's like the most like successful thing you've done in that?
I've
game?
done like pretty much everything in the game. I've gotten to Jewel.
So
I've gotten to
what
Moho.
was your most proud moment? in Kerbal Space Program.
Proud moment.
Yeah, you're like, holy shit, I landed on this
Honestly,
moon.
like I've never. I guess like the first time I landed on the moon, I was just like, this feels good. Everything else after that, I'm like, I did
Gone
it.
to every planet.
Yeah, pretty much. I've gone to Jewel. I've gone to all the moons. I've gone to Elo, Moho. What's the Venus analog?
Whatever it is, you've been
Eve.
there.
That's it. Yeah, I've gone there. So it's still really fun and it's still really rewarding. But what I usually do is I just build like rocket. Like I'll see like a rocket online or something like that. I'm like, I want to build that. I want to try to build a replica
Like
of
you
that.
do like a multi-stage.
Yeah, exactly. It's really fun. And I build a lot of airplanes too because
I
plane
tried
ride.
to build an airplane my second time. I got
Really?
off the ground, but I couldn't control it. I
Oh.
didn't have the right like rudders or anything, so I just crashed pretty quick. But I had enough thrust and lift.
See, it's actually it's a great resource to really learn how flight
Flight
mechanics and all that works, and really physics in general. It's a great physics simulation. But
Some really lulsy things. Like
Yeah,
a couple
it's-
of some just like
oh, the best one is the
I loved the Transformer guy.
yes, that's what the anime fighter or something
Yeah.
like that, like anime fighter, Kerbal Space Program. Oh man, is this just like? Oh no! This is
That's the one I like.
no. Type in Gundam.
There's one better.
Well, okay. Let me.
Is this it?
There's a GIF of it that's really good. Oh, this one isn't the one I'm thinking of. No. There's one that's really cool. Just go to the subreddit. Go to r/Kerbal Space Program. I think it's like the top post of all time.
This might be it. No.
This is anime. Get out of here.
No.
Just like go to
Kerbal.
Space Program.
Why would they have to? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not gonna argue with it.
You weren't.
Go to-
You weren't the first one. I
Yeah, go
know.
to top of all time.
You weren't the first.
Net neutrality 1.0. Oh, strap it. That one. Like, no, the best part's coming up. It's like that shit. Like, holy fuck. Like, that's fucking crazy, dude. I love that so much.
So, I mean, what's even going on?
A lot of mods. That's what's going on. Like, a lot of mods. Like, but that's the kind of wonderful thing about this game is that you can kind of do shit like that in it.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. A lot of part
Give me
clipping.
another.
Oh, this was a guy. You know how Elon Musk for
Was
his
to take a Tesla to Mars?
yeah, and he was
Why?
so the
He
whole
just wants to have his car on Mars.
it's he's not taking it to Mars actually. He's not even bringing it near Mars because that's like if he actually did that, that would be a huge problem with like contaminating stuff. Like you have to make sure that the car has no bacteria or anything like that. That's
Yeah.
bringing it to Mars. But what they are doing instead is they're pretty much just bringing it out to Mars orbit, and then it's showing the capability that it can get that far.
Did you see this one?
I've seen all these, but shitty Transformer. But yeah, they're actually about to launch the Falcon Heavy, which is one of their brand new rockets. Oh, spaceplane hangar. That's what's wonderful about this game. It's just like,
Oh, that's so good.
oh man.
Have you ever made like a space station?
Oh yeah.
Or that's hard to do?
It's not as hard as you think. Honestly, aligning orbits and all that isn't too bad.
Oh, badass. Look at the little dude.
Yeah.
Ah.
So graceful.
Quite goofy.
Yeah, it is really goofy. It's not like fucking. Oh, there it goes.
There you go. It's locked in.
Yeah. Just have to lock it all up.
That's sweet. I mean, I don't know. I'm so bad at those type of games that they're
Yeah.
escape me a little bit.
But back to the car with the the
Yeah,
rocket.
so he's not bringing it to Mars. That's what I heard.
Yeah, so he's not bringing it to Mars. He's just kind of putting it into the orbit. So the whole idea is that his new rocket needs to be tested.
Yeah.
And so they don't want to put anything valuable on top of it because there's kind of a big likelihood that it'll just explode on launch, right? Because it's a brand new rocket. They've been behind schedule with this thing for years. You know, you never know. This happens a lot with new rockets. But what they want is like an analog for what would be a payload. So if you put a 2,000-pound, 3,000-pound car at the top of this rocket and try to put it to Mars,
That's true.
you're putting a lot of fuel.
And it's
down-
really good PR.
Exactly, and they're still gonna try to land all three. So the look up Falcon Heavy because it's pretty much three. If you know what the SpaceX rockets look like nowadays, it's pretty much three of those strapped together, and what they're going to do is they're going to land the first two side boosters that you see on the sides on land, and then land the other one on water all simultaneously, and then launch the top into space. It's fucking crazy what they're doing, like utterly fascinating. This is a computer generated thing. They're launching the first flight in a couple of weeks or days. They've already put it on the pad. That's the car in its shroud.
So cool.
It is really cool.
That's so fucking cool.
Oh
Dude.
man, like look at
Plus,
that.
Teslas are very sexy.
Yeah, they are. They're
They're very sexy.
a nice
cars.
looking.
They made electric cars sexy, and I think the world needed that.
Oh yeah, they really like. Honestly, they popularized.
I really think
Electric
the
cars.
world needed that.
Oh, what is it? Oh, it's a car. Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes
it is a
people-
car.
People peel out there.
Oh man, it's utterly. It's kind of humbling when you look
Yeah.
at what people can do nowadays. We're literally just launching this fucking car to Mars orbit just for shits. Like, it's kind of fills you with a little bit of pride being a human. You know,
Yeah,
that we can do this shit. You know, especially with
I can't.
Well, yeah.
It makes me kind of feel like a piece of shit.
Well, the thing is that no one person can do all this shit.
Oh,
This
dude,
requires a
have you heard of
company
Elon
with like
Musk?
tons of resources and
Elon for president, but he can't 'cause he's from South Africa.
Yes, he is.
He's from South Africa.
So he can run for president. No, honestly, we just need to have someone that is in the president's office that actually knows what's happening. So, and I don't think businessmen really know what's going on usually, unless they have political experience. But another topic for another time. You know how it is. Oh yeah.
So, Jim, any final remarks? Anything you want to
And
talk
now-
about before we end up closing this out?
I mean, I have multiple different topics that I
So,
could...
anything you want to bring up this time?
Not well. I mean, if we do bring up some, I think I brought this might have up in our last podcast, but I'm really passionate about it. Well, actually, you know what? I think I did bring it up in the last podcast. So if you want to see my remarks on how journalism and information being spread today through social media is kind of ruining our society, check out the last podcast.
Yeah,
But-
it was a fresh take.
It was a.
was a very-
I just went into it. I was,
It was a very fresh take.
Fucking
on
mad.
The millennials killing insert whatever.
It's not. Well, it's not the millennials. It's fucking Facebook killing our fucking society, man.
Okay, Jim. So we're gonna go into some questions.
All right.
Okay. You just gotta. They're pretty simple. There's not
Like
that
yes or
many
no?
of them. Favorite meal of the day: breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
Yeah,
Why?
definitely. Hands down.
I'm with you on that one. Trevor said dinner.
Like
Dinner's
the
boring.
thing is, breakfast. It's structured. It's the most structured meal of the day because there is a specific set of breakfast foods, right? Mm-hmm. You know, with dinner and lunch, they're interchangeable, so they're kind of boring. With breakfast, it's like you can have an egg McMuffin for dinner, but it won't be
It'd be breakfast for dinner.
exactly like that's why it's so great, and it's
Yeah.
such unique food. And I love eggs, I love bacon, I love toast, I love
I
coffee.
love all of it. I love
Oh,
all of it, dude.
It's fucking all wonderful.
It really is. Okay. Hot dogs or hamburgers?
Hamburgers, definitely. Hot dogs are just literal, just tubes of unknown meat.
Hamburgers or cheeseburgers? Because
Cheeseburgers.
I can't fuck with a hamburger, dude.
I can fuck with a regular
If
hamburger.
my choice is hamburger or hot dog, I'm going hot dog. But hot dog or cheeseburger?
See, fuck hot dogs.
I'm in.
I can still add
Dude,
enough
oh my
stuff.
god! When I was in Oklahoma, shout out to the Curdy Shack, the Dirty Curdy, dude. I don't know if you saw it on my Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
They're just hot dogs with everything on them. I mean, just everything you want. Like,
See, that's the thing. I don't like all that like frou on a hot dog. I guess I don't really like hot dogs in general unless they're chili dogs.
okay, so did I not take a picture of it? So their toppings are let's see here. I know I took a picture of it, dude. Oh, it's gone. I have it
Oh, well.
here somewhere. Tons of great shit though.
Oh, wonderful.
Cream cheese, red onions, jalapenos, relish, mustard. I mean, there's tons of stuff. And they open at 10 o'clock at night and they close at like 3. Mm-hmm. It's just in between all the bars. Mm-hmm. So it's great. It's fantastic. Ass or titties?
Ass or titties? Ooh, it depends.
No.
No, it really does. It really like when I'm
Perfect ass or perfect titties? What are you picking?
am I sober or not?
Ooh, no one's ever asked this question back. Yes.
If I'm sober, titties. If I'm drunk, ass.
I've never even thought about the idea of just have an alter ego.
Because like
Explain yourself.
okay,
Give me a
well,
little bit of
okay,
insight.
it's really more about what you're paying attention to in two different scenarios. When you're drunk and horny, you're just wanting to fuck, right? You're just wanting to go down there.
Yes.
That's all you want. You don't give a shit about what's on the rest of the body. You just want that.
Going south, heading south of the border. I ain't looking back.
Yeah, exactly. But when you're sober, you're kind of, you're a little bit more open-minded. You're trying to talk to the person a little bit more. You're staring at their front, and they're just right there. They're just like, they're a little like, just like a little bit of viewing candy right in front of you.
Okay.
At women,
It's a very complicated answer.
yeah. I'm a complicated man. So.
Yes, you are, Jim. You're definitely a complicated man.
All right. What other questions do you got for me?
I wrote them all down. That's what I was looking for earlier. I wrote them all down because I was doing it with Trevor.
Okay.
I can't find it. I just had it like on a little sticky note. I haven't seen it today.
I kind of like it's the nice little like lightning round. I like it.
Blunt your joints.
That's a good question. Depends on the mood I'm in. For alone smoking, if
Blunt your joints.
if I'm with a small group, like a very small group, joints. If I'm with a large group, blunts.
Blunts are the only way to go at parties. You know that. But
Yeah, and also the thing
just because
is,
they're big and you can pass, but just what you're smoking, blunt your joints.
if it's just me, usually joints. Blunts kind of fuck me up and they couch lock me.
Definitely. And they're too big.
Yeah.
Izzy called me a bitch because I said a blunt was too big. And I was just like, I don't know. A joint is the perfect amount.
Yeah, definitely.
It's perfect. Like once it gets legal, I'll be buying the pre-roll.
Hopefully, you know what? I'm excited for that day. I'm really nervous
It'll happen
until then.
4:30.
Yeah. Well, what I'm wondering is how it's gonna. Is it going to be like a switch? Is all of society going to be okay with it, or is it going to be legalized federally, but you still get drug tested and you can still lose a job because you smoke weed? That's what I'm worried about, because that's kind of like what I'm going to be entering into, is like the corporate world and shit like that. And there's already like at some
Why don't
hospitals.
you become a history professor?
I could do that, or just an engineering professor.
Would you want to be engineering? If you have to teach, would you want to do engineering?
It depends on what I was doing. If I was doing something like material science or statics or something like that, I would love to do it. If I was doing something like thermo or fluids or fucking shit like that or any pure math, no. I could do any history though. I would love to get up there with a corduroy jacket.
You would love to, because you get such specialized research and understanding.
Oh,
of it.
yeah.
Because if all you had to talk about was Middle Eastern history,
Yeah.
you'd learn a lot about that.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be your passion.
Though I've noticed with multiple professors, even if they know a shit ton about a subject, you can hit them with a question. They're like, I do not know anything about that thing.
Well, history is so vast.
Well, granted, this was more current events, and that's
Okay.
kind of why. But recently, there's been a new crown prince that's pretty much been, he's not new, but pretty much he convinced the king of Saudi Arabia right now to replace him as like the heir apparent.
Yeah.
So he's going to become king next over someone else. His name is Mohammed bin Salim, and he's pretty much a massive reformer. He's going through he's the guy that you've probably heard things about it, where he's jailing up billionaires and he's like cutting down on corruption. He's allowing women to drive and shit like that. It's some pretty big things for Saudi Arabia. I actually asked my history. It was like the weekend where all that shit went down, especially with the billionaires.
And he's
and
Middle Eastern.
and I went up to him in the front of the class and I said, "What is your opinion on this?" And he's like, "Oh, I haven't read about that like at all." And he's like, "This is his whole thing. It's Middle Eastern history." Granted, he focuses on Egypt, so that might be why.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of a discontinuity there, but still, you would expect if something that big went down in his region of interest, he would have known about it. And yeah, and I've had professors, though this is just kind of normal, I misquote stuff too, but a lot of professors I've been in have misquoted stuff in front of me, or like in the class, not in front of me. It sounds like it's weird. He's like, ha, I got you, but no. But I don't know. Being a history professor would be fun. Having tenure would be fun. Yeah. I don't know if I would want to work in an exclusively university town. If I had to live in like College Station my whole life, or Lubbock my whole life, or Stillwater, or Norman. Yeah. Well, Norman's a little bit different because it's right next to Oklahoma City, right?
It's close. I think it's like 30, 40.
So it's like College Station.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Norman, any of those types of things, fuck that. Like, I don't want to be around college students my whole life. If I could work at like a college in in a city, like university, we're kind of revealing where we live a little bit.
U of H.
Yeah, U of H, Texas, something like that. That would be better. But
yeah,
it's all up in the air now. We're young. So, Anyway.
Hot or cold?
Hot or cold? Cold.
Hot or cold?
Definitely.
You like the cold weather more?
Hell yeah. Like there's no reason to like the hot weather.
Dude, I'm like not running the AC at all, and it's like my electric bill's so low. God damn, it feels so good. And I'm wearing a hoodie and some sweats, and I'm comfy.
I will say dry heat, especially. So I go to university in up in Lubbock right now. I go to Texas Tech. So up there, it is dry as shit. So the heat isn't actually as bad. There's some summer days where it's like scalding and it feels like it's burning outside. But like for a normal like everyday thing, it's a lot better than down here, because down here it's sticky and humid, and also Lubbock has the wind. So the wind is always cooling you off. But that turns into a disadvantage during the winter, because then it can still be above freezing and it can be fucking awful because you're just like, fuck, it's goddamn cold. Like, oh man.
Yeah. My hands were so dry, I broke a nail when I was in Oklahoma this weekend.
Really?
Playing disc golf. Yeah, dude. Wow. On like the fourth hole.
Jeez.
Shredded one of my fingernails.
I'm telling you, the Great Plains are fucking hellish. I don't know why we
dude,
put
plus
the Indians
tornadoes. Dude, seeing all the fucking tornado shelters and shit was kind of crazy to see again.
Yeah.
Because that's just something we don't deal with.
Like all the buildings.
We just need to build walls so we can keep out water.
Yeah, seriously. Well, that's another terrifying thing, is that like Houston just
it
floods
bad,
and it's flooded multiple times over the past couple of years. It wasn't as like the
that was the worst thing I've ever seen.
Really, with Harvey. Damn.
Like,
I know I've seen like pictures of like bull sharks swimming on I-45. Or I-10.
That was crazy.
That was fucking crazy.
What was the park called? Where is it? Where's the picture? I don't remember what the park was called. No. Dude, it's just like, look at that.
Damn. That's like that's Buffalo Bayou, right?
Yeah. And just
Jesus.
Whole neighborhoods.
Just underwater, man.
It flooded. It rained for an entire week straight.
Oh, there's the fucking shark, man.
That's like one of the coolest pictures.
That's just fucking crazy, dude. That's a little bit scary too.
How deep that is.
Oh fuck. Yeah, like somewhere around here set the record for the most rainfall in the contiguous United States ever. It was like 66 inches or something like that.
I bet.
It's like,
I bet.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man. I feel kind of bad because I am a Houstonian in the sense that I grew up here and I've lived here almost all my life.
Yeah.
but I was not down here for Hurricane Harvey, and I feel like I missed something that like is now like a
Houston strong.
Yeah, exactly. It's like something that like is
Dude, going and standing outside and waiting for 3 hours to get groceries because you literally had none.
that sounds awful.
Yeah.
So I'm
It was
glad I
something
wasn't there
crazy.
for that.
And with that, we're gonna take you out with just a great old rip. Have a great one, and we'll see you later.